So what percentage of dogs are obese? The answer is 50%.
Thank you very much. You're watching The Right Stuff with Dave Spikey, Anne Diamond and Scott Mills. In a little while, does humour need limits? I have never known so much chin-stroking about comedy. Are gags too cruel? Do comics go too far? Both the BBC and the government weighing in. What is going on? 0207 173 5555 is the number. Does laughter need limits? And I'm having a chuckle because Dave was telling me in the break the phonics thing with
Jolly
the
phonics,
umbrella
yeah.
and the
oh.
That's not a gag.
It's nice, true.
That's what they do.
Most primary school... Nobody has children of primary school age? No. Yeah, it's Jolly phonics. It's a nationwide phonetic way of teaching.
Well, it makes comedians...
That's a dog. That's a dog.
OK.
What's a P?
I don't know what P is.
OK, that's enough of that. Let's get on to the RSPCA. We're asking, what do we make of the RSPCA taking overweight but loved animals from their owners and effectively putting them into care? This guy, John Green, he's lost his 11-stone Dalmatian Barney in June. The RSPCA warned the Macclesfield dog lover that his mutt had to lose weight or else... Just a minute, can we bring that picture back up again there? Let's see if we can bring it back up. Hang on. Did they photograph Barney from behind to protect his identity? Is it an offence of his canine rights, is it? Anyway, Barney, who's 8, was 3 times the size of a normal Dalmatian. He struggled to lift even his paws. After 5 months in care, that's him now. He's lost 5 stone.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, but is he happy?
Looks happy.
Shut up. He's a dog. Now, the owner, John, he's been slapped with a £780 fine, ordered to do community service and banned from keeping a dog for 10 years, a punishment, I would argue, that exceeds that doled out to the girl thug we heard about yesterday who gassed another girl in the face in a nightclub. Yeah. Now, in his defence, John said he treated Barney like a friend. Whenever he had a bag of crisps, the dog had a bag of crisps.
He had a pot noodle, the dog had a pot noodle.
I wonder what happened when he got home with girlfriends. Despite warnings from the RSPCA... This is serious. Despite warnings from the RSPCA, he simply couldn't break his bad habits. And to be fair to the RSPCA, they tried. I mean, they tried for months. The law states that owners who refuse to put seriously fat pets on diets can be prosecuted, so this guy was breaking the law. But as we just heard, 50% of dogs and cats are overweight in the UK. Are we going to put them all into care? And, of course, not all of these dogs get rehomed. And you know what happens to the ones that don't, do you?
You get put down.
You get put down.
Well, they can't carry them, they're too heavy.
I have to say, the RSPCA did assure us that that won't happen to Barney, kids. But is life in a cage on a permanent diet with the prospect of premature death by injection a better bet than life with a loving owner? Then again, we started putting fat kids into care when their parents failed to get on top of the situation. 20 children or thereabouts so far. Why not fat pets, Anne?
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, the question is, what is it life in the RSPCA being healthy or life at home? And it wouldn't be life at home. It would be death at home. That dog is...
Everybody's got to die sometime.
It was very near a heart attack or a stroke or something like that. And that's the problem. This isn't a funny issue. It's fat. Fat is not funny. We did a... You know, I run the website fathappens.com. We did a sort of clinic, a web chat, just recently on how fat affects the family with a family therapist. And we got more calls about people being worried about their animals than their kids.
Get away.
And it's because fat does affect the whole family. So it's interesting we didn't see a picture of John, a whole picture of him, but he must be very, very overweight, I presume, or obese as well, if he's eating what the dog's eating. And that's the problem.
He's obviously got issues, hasn't he? Yeah, because if you've got RSPCA inspectors in there, very nice people.
And they try.
And they try their hardest to say, look, you've got to stop it.
We get social workers trying with families, but it's usually where one or the other or both parents are very, very obese themselves, and they're bringing up their kids and their pets to eat the same way they do. It's a completely dysfunctional family, and the pet is turning out to be one of the first victims of these dysfunctional fat families. It's a huge problem.
So right to take them into care?
Well, I think so. I mean, this is the tip of the iceberg, and there won't be many cases where pets have to be taken into care.
Do you know what?
But it just shows that we have to solve this as a family issue.
There could be.
Yeah, well,
I'm thinking of dogs that I know of, that I see around the park, and I'm thinking they're at least twice what they should be.
But while people like David Cameron walk around saying, I'm fed up hearing about fat putting people at risk, fat does put people at risk. It's a huge problem, and it's not about fault and blame and people being stupid. It's just about family habits.
Okay, Scott.
I think this guy obviously has issues. I think he obviously lives alone with his dog, and therefore I do feel a bit sorry for him. But it's a case of too much love. Like you say, every time he has a bag of crisps, he has a bag of crisps. But I can see how this would happen. My friends have got a dog, and it riles me how they feed it, because it's like you shouldn't be giving it that, and it actually really annoys me.
Yeah, and they take it down the pub and give the dog a pint, don't they?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, obviously, but I mean, everyone's got to have a pint. Yeah. Let's be fair.
It's just so easy for them to get fat, and you need to be careful.
It's great you said too much love, because I think that
but
is what's
it's the way we're showing love with food.
Yeah. Which is the problem. That's the issue.
Thing, yeah.
Dave, right to take the dog into care?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I'm a massive dog person. I've rescued dogs for years and years and years. I had 9 at one time, rescued dogs. And it's looking after responsibly, obviously, is important. But some people, as it's been said 2 or 3 times, this guy obviously has got problems with it. But you're talking about a dog here that couldn't even lift its paws up. You know, it's putting pressure on his joints. It's going to have heart problems. Yeah, and you've seen the size of the thing. You know, it needs some sort of attention.
It's not just dogs, it's cats and rabbits. We've had cases of fat rabbits.
I've never seen a fat stick insect, though.
I've not read anywhere when it's back and fit and healthy. Is there an option for him to have it back?
He's not allowed to have the dog.
No.
He's not allowed to have dogs for 10 years. So it will go to somebody else. And because it's a Dalmatian and they're very desirable, it won't have a problem. If it was a mongrel, I suspect it would be in a very different situation.
I'm not sure, because, I mean, the RSPCA do have a policy that they do not euthanize healthy dogs.
Yeah.
That is their policy, unless they consider them to be dangerous dogs. So I'm not sure that's the case.
Okay. They do, yeah. OK, let's throw it over to you. Did the RSPCA do the right thing is what we're asking. Let's take some calls. Kirsty.
We have Tiffany. She's on line 1.
Tiffany, good morning.
Good morning, Ashley.
So, did the RSPCA do the right thing here?
I think they did the wrong thing. What I personally think they should have done was they should be, because there are quite a lot of obese animals out there, and what they should be doing is doing some kind of courses to educate the owners and their children, because they got Puppy Club at the moment and Kennel Club, then they should be encouraging parents to go to that, because at the Kennel Club you get, basically you get taught how to exercise your dog properly,
Tiffany,
how many treats to give your dog, how to feed your dog properly.
Tiffany, I hear all of that. I think the problem with this chap, John Green, is that the RSPCA, which is a charity, so they don't have an unlimited amount of funds, they busted a gut trying to get him to get a grip on this dog. I think it was over 3 or 4 months they were trying to work with him. There was no improvement whatsoever. Some people might not be so good at changing their habits, I guess, as others. And I do that. I mean, the panel sort of takes the same view that, you know, a man lives on his own, very lonely, or whatever, and it's too much love. And they tried, and the RSPCA failed. And I suppose they're then left with the decision, well, do we leave this dog to have an early death, 8 years old? I mean, I don't want to Dalmatians live to 10, I suppose, on average.
Now, the thing is my mum and dad's dog, one of them anyway, she's quite overweight, and she's a miniature Jack Russell. But she's only a little bit overweight, but the vets have told my parents that the Jack Russell is overweight, and they're doing something about it.
Right. But you only have to, Tiffany, you only have to look around you on the streets of Britain to see there are plenty of parents who have really overweight children. If they're going to do that to their children, right, we have to accept it's quite possible people are going to overfeed and be incapable of stopping themselves when it comes to pets.
Well, also, the school's got to come into play there as well, because...
A bit late for John Green, I
think. The children are at school more than they are at home, unless it's holidays.
Or they're on truant.
My daughter, she goes to school, she has a healthy meal at school, she has a healthy meal at home, and if she's been good, she's allowed a little treat, but not a big one, and she's really... Well, she's not fat and she isn't skinny.
No, Tiffany, but you know, I say again, not everyone is like you, you know. You look around you and there are plenty of people that have issues, and those issues manifest themselves as you were saying. I mean, this issue of
they mushroom within the family.
Food is a way of showing love.
Yes, that's right. I mean, a lot of people are very proud. They say they treat their dog like one of the family, but unfortunately, if you've got a fat family and they're all eating the wrong stuff and not doing much exercise, then the dog turns out to be probably the biggest victim of all.
Very sad. Tiffany, thank you. What does our audience say, Eric? They
Okay,
look
next
like
week's
animal
Mark, a
lovers.
pet lover. So is it wrong or right to put fat pets in care?
It's absolutely right to put fat pets in care. Like, if they're big, it's not good for their health, and it's not really good for anyone.
because there is this slight twist, which is that not... You know, I go to rescue centres, you go to them, and, you know, I find them heartbreakingly sad places to go, often because the dogs have been so damaged by their owners, but also to see dogs in relatively small runs, effectively in a doggy prison. Now, OK, Barney would be in a doggy prison and has lost weight and looks a lot better for it, but if he now spends the rest of his days, unlikely because he's a pedigree, but if he did, was that a better life?
In some cases, yes, because he's getting exercise, obviously, during the day, and he's obviously lost a lot of weight based on the pictures before and after. I think someone here said he looked a bit like a whale from the beginning, which was shocking.
So the potential disadvantages are outweighed by the benefits. OK. I think we'll wrap on there, Kirsty. Thank you. After the break, does humour need limits? What is it about modern-day jokers that has politicians and broadcasters and newspapers so wound up? I mean, isn't the very root of comedy, and Dave will know this much better than me, isn't the root of comedy the art of disguising unpalatable truths using wit? So are today's comics overstepping some kind of invisible marker? 0207 173 5555 is the number for your thoughts. Does humour have limits? Should it have limits? We'll find out after another short break.